right, a new project that I have been it's been an on again, off again project is the Great Plains GB. You can see here it's upside down. So real quick, it's been sitting on the bench, half finished for about a year. So I was trying to decide on what power system to come out with, and then earlier this year, Great Plains came out with their Rimfire 120, and it was perfect because this one uses a 92-stroke or a 124-stroke, and I wanted to put quite a bit of power in it because, as you can see, I've got the smaller Great Plains GB over here, the foam version, which is just fantastic. If you're lucky enough to still find one, get it because it's great. Anyway, we've got the Great Plains large mount on here, and what we're doing now is converting it to electric, because this came out during a time period when electrics were just lithiums were just starting to come out, and brushless motors were just starting to appear on the scene. But what we've got here is if you look carefully, right at the very front, up there just beneath the nut, you'll see a piece of spruce there that's going to hold the battery tray in place. The battery tray, of course, is right there. We have a rear piece of spruce which is sitting right there. It says rear top, and basically the battery tray itself will slide and fit on top of these pieces. This is the bottom of the fuselage, so it'll fit on the top of those pieces, and that will give me the ability to strap the battery in place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut a hatch out, and you can see the black lines in the bottom. We're going to put pieces of spruce, like you see the one down there, along the hatch edge to help reinforce it, and we're going to keep those former pieces on the hatch top to help keep its curvature. Now, there was a video of a gentleman who did do one where he actually cut out this whole section in here and made the battery tray here. He would have to turn the airplane upside down, and I really didn't want to do that because you know, after having had this foam version of the GB, it is much easier to be able to go through and be able to grab the hatch and well, it's on, there's lots of magnets, but anyway, to change the battery with the plane sitting upright. It's a rather big, bulky airplane, and you know, there's with the large wheel pants and everything, it just makes it a little difficult to change the battery and turning it upside down. So anyway, so we're waiting for the epoxy to dry. That's gonna, it cures in about 2 hours, but it was 30-minute epoxy that I'm using. It really needs a full 24 hours. So we're gonna let that sit overnight, and then we'll continue. And then once that's dry, I'll put the reinforcing spruce pieces in there, like you see right down there, that piece, along where the battery tray is gonna be. Then we'll take a little Dremel and we will cut the top of the fuselage off where the battery tray is gonna be, and we'll work from there. So it's a slow process, took a lot of thinking and planning, but here we are. All right, more to come. Oh, one more thing, I'm sorry. And we're gonna put the ESC is gonna sit right here. That's a perfect spot. This is normally a notch that was in the fuselage where a muffler would be, but it makes for a perfect spot for the ESC because the air will flow through the cowling. As you can see here, we have an opening cut on the bottom. Air will flow through here and go right over the ESC. Here we go. Alrighty. Continuing with our GB, Great Plains GB 120 conversion. We're converting over to electric. You can see here we've got 3 spruce, quarter-inch spruce spars, one in the rear, one in the middle, and then one right up there in the front, as you can see. We used epoxy, and then of course we have our battery tray right there, as you can see. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to back off the light a little bit. We're going to go through, we're going to now cut the hatch. You can see we've got the lines cut, and down below, maybe a little difficult to see, I put a little tiny quarter-inch spruce, there you go, right there to help reinforce. One there, and then one in the middle. There it is. Just to help reinforce so the hatch doesn't flex. I didn't do one up front. Did not do one up front because I need that space so I can put a piece of wood on the hatch that will then have some dowels in the front, and that little piece of plywood right up there in the very front just behind the firewall, that's what the that is what the dowels are going to go into to help hold the dowel, to help hold the front of the hatch down. So anyway, so now we're going to cut the hatch. More to come. All right, the hatch is cut. I'm going to do a quick reveal here as we go through, remove the tape. The tape is here not only to guide me in terms of the cutting, but as I cut the sides, I also put a piece over top to hold the hatch in place, because if I hadn't, it would have just fallen in as I was cutting. So this way it makes for a nice smooth edge, and the edges came out really quite well, which was a big concern of mine, because this GB is painted so well, and you really want to maintain the lines as much as possible. So let's go ahead and lift this up. Perfect hatch. Perfect hatch. So now what we're looking at here inside the plane, this is normally where on the inside we would put the radio, whoops, we put the, let me take this off completely. There we go. Okay. There's our great hatch. And you can see the pieces here, how it helped to reinforce the sections here. But anyway, so this would normally be where they would put the battery and the receiver, but you would put it on the opposite side. This is coming out. But this piece here and this piece here are going to be very important, because we're going to drill 2 holes here, so we can put some dowels, and that way the hatch goes in like this. And then back here, we're going to drill 1 hole, so a hatch latch that'll hold that in place. I originally thought about magnets, and I'm not against magnets, but, you know, sometimes they have a tendency just to pop off in flight. And I'm noticing more and more manufacturers, not all of them, but more of them are moving away from magnets as the way of holding on to a hatch for larger aircraft. They're really kind of going with a latch instead of magnets. But magnets are wonderful, and if you can find one that's strong enough, fantastic. All right, more to come. All right, the hatch is off, as we can see, and the battery is a perfect fit. It just slides right in there, more than enough space for my hand, as you can see, so it's great. And we were able to remove that other piece that was there, that was in here previously. That's out. I think I might actually leave this little lip here. This is from the piece, because this kind of helps to hold the battery down too. And I mean, I really don't need it. Maybe I'll just grind it away. We'll have to see. But anyway, nonetheless, the hatch is out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run a couple spruce pieces in here, just between these pieces, to act as a reinforcement and to help, because when we lose that fiberglass piece, you know, you don't want the fuselage to flex or anything like that too much. So a couple spruce pieces on each side should do the trick. And then I'm also going to make sure that we have a little lip of some kind sticking out so the hatch doesn't fall in. We don't need much, just a little 1/4-inch piece, maybe here and here. That helps to keep the hatch from dropping into the fuselage when you take it out. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. It shouldn't be too difficult. Like I said, the hatch looks great. It came out really well. There's our pieces, our reinforcing pieces, and we're going to put another piece here and here, and probably back here as well. But it came out very clean. I'm really impressed with it, even just temporarily putting it back in. You can see it. It's not too, well, whoops, I think I got to face in the wrong direction. Here we go. There we go. You can see for the most part, it's actually really pretty good. The gaps aren't as big. It looks big right now, but it's a decent size gap, meaning it's not too big, too small, just right. All right, more to come as we continue on with our conversion. All right, quick update. You can see we have our hatch is done. Now, so what we have here, a couple things, is first we have some 1/32 light ply, and that was put in place, as you can see, to keep the tray from sort of dropping inward down into the hole. And the hatch latch you see there, let me turn it over, is from bvmjets.com. That's bvmjets.com. I had some scrap wood left over from the cowling ring that goes with the plane. It just happened to be the perfect curvature to match the curvature of the hatch, as you can see there. And we just glued a piece on there, and this is just a barbecue skewer. And then we just went ahead and drilled a small hole through the front, right there, so the skewer could pass through. We have a small hole back there, as you can see, for where the hatch latch goes in. And it just fits on there perfectly. Let me see if I can go ahead and show you. Hopefully this will go on nice and smooth. So there's our skewer going in the hole. Oops. There we go. There we go. That's in there. And drops right in. Just got to get our latch here like so. Pull that back. Drop that in. Give it a little push back. There we go. Make sure it's all the way in. And there we go. And there's our hatch. Ta-da! All done. And even from a distance, you really can't. You can barely see it. And the cowling's going to cover up the front portion here a little bit. So it went on really well. Very smooth. Probably the easiest hatch I've done. So now we'll just go ahead and put some Velcro on the tray. Put the straps in. And then just kind of put on the decals. And we'll seal off the gap here in the aileron. Or the elevator, excuse me. With a little clear monocoat. Because that helps quite a bit. Helps prevent flutter. And that's it. And then we're just going to put the pilot in there. And then the windshield. And she's going to be basically done. So we'll do one more update in just a little bit.